Om Vakratunda Mahakaya Suryakoti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kuru Me Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada Om Shri Mahaganapataye Namaha Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ओम श्री मेधा दक्षिणामूर्ति स्वामिने नमः। ओम सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। हरिः ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ओम। ओम पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्धदामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम् यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्र रुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्ख्यपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तन्न विदुः सुरासुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः। Om. So namaste once again everyone.
Namaste, Guruji.
Namaste.
Namaste, Guruji.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Namaste. Kachinno bhaya viprashta chinna bhramiva nashyate apratishto mahabhaho vimudho brahmanah pathe. This is the 38th sloka we are seeing. So after Bhagavan Krishna practically concluded the detailed teaching on meditation, it appears like Arjuna is not very confident that he will be able to strictly follow the teaching. And since Vedantic meditation, the achievement of Vedantic goal of moksha will be unreachable, Arjuna expressed his pessimism in the previous sloka. Though, of course, he did not say that it will not be possible for him to successfully engage in the sadhana of meditation, he raised a hypothetical question. He asked, what will happen to a person who has Shraddha in the scriptures, who is sincere in his pursuit, but for some reason he is unable to put in sufficient effort, because of which his mind strays away from the meditation and he eventually becomes unsuccessful in reaching the Vedantic goal of moksha in this life. So his question was, what will be his lot? What goal will he attain? And he follows up this question with another important supplementary question, which is also very relevant. His question is, having fallen from Jnana Marga and also Karma Marga, yoga and karma, and deluded in the pursuit of Brahman, left with no support, will he not perish like a scattered cloud? So even though Arjuna is not mentioning specifically so many things, but we can deduce what is the underlying thought behind his question. Because when a person has taken up Jnana Marga exclusively with the goal as moksha, he would have given up the Karma Marga, which he was successfully pursuing, doing all Nitya Naimittika karmas, etc. And if he had not come to Jnana Marga, the amount of punyam that he would have earned through performing karma yoga, not karma yoga, performing the karmas, it would have given him probably a visa to Swarga as karma phalam. Now, having given up that opportunity for attaining Swarga, and in the face of his failure to attain the goal of Jnana Marga, which is moksha, will he not be left hanging between heaven and earth like Trishanku? Or a better contemporary example, which Ramuji suggested, was Sunita Williams, who is more or less in a similar position. This is Arjuna's greatest fear and question. And therefore, his condition is apratishtaha, supportless. This is there in the second line of the stoka. Apratishto mahabahu. So apratishtaha, supportless. He does not have the support of punyam, which could have given him swarga. Now he has become, or having become yoga brashta, he does not have the support of jnanam also, which could have given him moksha. Therefore, apratishta punya jnana rahita कर्मण है अभावात पुण्य रहित है, ज्ञान से अभावात मोक्ष रहित है. So he loses both these supports. And Arjuna himself further explains the word apratishta in the first line. He says, Ubhaya vibrashta. He is free from, or he is freed from twofold support. Ubhaya means two supports. Karma dwara punyam, jnana dwara moksha hai. So from both he has fallen, vibrashta. And therefore, what will be his lot? Chinna brahmiva nashyati. So his condition, it can be compared to a small cloudlet which has got separated from a big, huge, vast cloud. Because when the cloud is big enough, dense enough, then the wind cannot destroy the cloud, dissipate the cloud, or disperse the cloud, because it's a vast cloud. Maximum what the wind can do, it can carry the cloud from one place to another. But then imagine a small portion of that cloud gets separated from the big body of the cloud. That small portion becomes a weakened cloud. And when that cloud gets separated, what will the wind do? In fact, if you have watched this phenomenon in the nature, you will understand. If you watch the cloudlet, the small cloud, you will find that gradually, because of the powerful wind, it gets dissipated, dispersed, and after some time, it will completely disappear. Similarly, here, the seeker, he does not have support of dharma, he does not have support of jnanam also. Now he has become a weak individual. Actually, that's why in those days, they did not allow a person to take sannyasa that easily. Because at least one support should be there always. Their worry was at least in the grihastha the mind has got some occupation. He will be doing his karmas, nitya naimitika karmas, etc. This has to be done, even laukika karmas. This has to be done, that has to be done. There is always something to do in a grihastha. You have a household to run. You need to earn the resources for that. You have got children to bring up. They should be settled. Functions and all will come, right from Jata Karma, everything you have to do. Festivals will be there. Therefore, the mind will be occupied with something or the other in the society. Now imagine a person takes sannyasa, gets out of the society, goes to some place in Rishikesh or some place, and he does not have the support of a guru or ashrama. What will happen? The mind does not have karma hold. The mind does not have shastra hold. Shastram has been dropped. Swadharma has been dropped. The mind will dwell upon what? In the absence of any other committed pursuit, the mind will dwell only on sensory pleasures or other immoral things. And a person can end up a mithyachari. That person can fall. Fall means figuratively from the noble self, he can fall to lower depths. And that is why sannyasa was discouraged. And they said that sannyasa is a highly risky ashrama because one can go out of both shastram and also the varnashrama dharma. And therefore, keeping all these things in mind, Arjuna says, Ubhaya vibrashtaha chinna brahmiva nashyati. Like the cloudlet, will he not get into destruction? Chinna abhram. Chinna means scattered. Abhram basically means megha. Megha means the cloud, right? But here we can take it as a small cloudlet. So like a cloudlet, will he not nashyati, perish? He Mahabaho, He Krishna. Vibhudah Brahmana Pati. And being deluded by having from the path of, having fallen from the path of Brahman. So Brahmana Pati means Brahma Marga. Patin Shabda. Brahma Marga means Jnana Marga. So having fallen from Jnana Marga, and then we can add having fallen from Karma Marga also, will he not become deluded and perish? And this is Arjuna's fear. And now Arjuna concludes his question in the next verse. So his question is doubt, he expresses in 3 verses, 37 to 39, as I mentioned. So we'll read verse 39. Etanme samshayam Krishna chetumarhasya sheshatah twadanya samshayasyasya chetana hyupapadyate. Hey Krishna, chetum arhasi me etat samshayam aseshatah hi na upapadyate cheta asya samshayasya tvat anyah. Hey Krishna, O Krishna, chetum arhasi, you should remove me etat samshayam, this doubt of mine, aseshatah, completely, he, for, or because. Now upapadyate, there cannot be cheta, a remover, asya samshayasya, of this doubt, anyah tvat, other than you. So Arjuna is saying, having stated his doubt, he says, you should remove this doubt from of mine completely, Krishna, for there cannot be a remover of this doubt other than you. Nobody else can help me in this. So Arjuna has got a genuine doubt, which many serious students will have. Many of us also will have. And he has total faith in his teacher Krishna that he can clarify his doubt, he can remove his doubt. And that is why, in our culture, we encourage the students to raise all type of questions which may appear irrelevant to many others. I keep repeating this. The student should not blindly swallow or blindly accept whatever the teacher says. That is not our learning methodology. In fact, the student could go to any extent to challenge the teacher, to question the teachers, whatever that he is teaching. But of course, that should be done very decently with a lot of reverential attitude, with an attitude to learn, not to just, challenge the teacher and put him down and show him in poor light in front of others, to show that I know more than this teacher. There are such students, don't imagine. There are some students I have come across in the Gurukulam. They would have come, studied so many things elsewhere, then come to Gurukulam, and then they will start challenging what the teacher is teaching. But Arjuna is not like that. He is a good student. So he says, hey Krishna, that there could be a possibility that having come to Vedanta and having failed in this mission moksha, a person may get lost. Therefore, etat samshayam chetum arhasi. You should destroy this doubt of mine, because I don't want to end up like Trishanku. Maybe you can teach whatever you want, but when I go back after the war is over, I will continue, revive some puja and parayanam and karmas, etc. So that even though moksha may not come, at least I will earn some punyam. Now, of course, this may not be the case with most of us, because we might not have stopped doing puja, japam, etc. while we are doing Shravana. And also, none of us have to take to sannyasa ashrama, or have taken up sannyasa ashrama and given up the karma marga. And that is the case with Arjuna also. But having come to Vedanta, Arjuna wants to cover all the possibilities. There is no guarantee that your Shravanam, Mananam and Nididhyasanam, of course, if you do successful Nididhyasanam, Vedanta will deliver what it has to deliver. But then how successful you are going to be in actually neutralizing all your past orientation, it will depend on that. Where even some semblance of your Jiva Bhava is left, it will surface any time the opportunity it gets. Brahma Bhava will be forgotten for that period of time. So he says, etat samshayam, this trishankatva samshayam, this doubt of mine landing in mid-air, chetum arhasi, please destroy. Chetum means to destroy or remove. Arhasi is a very, very cleverly used word. He said, don't give me a vague answer. Aseshatah. Give me a complete answer, because earlier once or twice, Whenever he asked a question, Krishna tried to give some vague answers. That was at least from Arjuna's point of view. So here, don't give any vague answer. Be specific. Complete answer you give me. Clearly, you give me an answer. And why am I asking you? Because anya hatvat cheta na upapadyate. There cannot be any person other than you who can destroy this doubt. And there is a reason why Arjuna says that only Krishna can destroy this doubt or remove this doubt. Because whether a person will spiritually fall or not can be determined only in the next Janma. In this Janma, he will die, not having become a Jivan Mukta, and also lost the opportunity to earn Punya, he will die. Then what happens to him in his next Janma only will show what happened in the previous Janma. Whether he will go to Swarga, whether he will get moksha, or whether he will miss both of them, or go to a lower Janma, animal, plant, etc. These are all questions of after birth. And what will happen to us in the next Janma, which we do not know. In next Janma, even in this Janma, we do not know what will happen to us next minute, next day, isn't it? So since Bhagavan alone is the karma phala data, he alone is fit enough to answer this question because he has got the full record of all our past karmas, sanchita karmas, everything has got the record. Computerized record Bhagavan has got. So he alone can answer this question. And therefore, Arjuna's question is, what type of janma such a person will get later? Thus, in these three verses, Arjuna has stated a doubt which appears to be bordering on pessimism. Now, Krishna is going to give an optimistic answer. And we will read the answer. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha Parthanaiveha namutra vinashastasya vidyate nahi kalyana krit kaschit durgatim tata gacchati. So the Anvaya is Sri Bhagavan Uvacha He Partha na eva iha na amutra vidyate vinashah tasya hi kaschit kalyanakrit na gacchati durgatim he tata. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha, the Lord answered, He Partha, O Arjuna, na eva iha, neither here, na amutra, not hereafter, nor hereafter, vidyate vinashah, is there destruction, tasya hi, for him because, kaschit, for one, kalyanakrit, who is a doer of good, na gacchati, does not attain, durgatim, an evil end, he tata, O my son. So the Lord answered, O Arjuna, neither here nor hereafter is there destruction for him, because a doer of good does not attain an evil end. So first, Krishna gives consolation to Arjuna. He says, Arjuna, first of all, do not worry. What happens to such a person, we will see later. But first, at the outset, I am telling you, don't worry. Then he gives the answer. I will give you the right gist of the answer. The idea is this. Suppose a person comes to Jnana Marga, serious study of scriptures, Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana, which are certainly different from the regular karma of Sandhya Vandanam, Nama Japam, etc. Once you have come to Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasanam, you will not have enough time for doing these regular religious activities. Especially when you are a serious student, morning till evening, you want to devote your time to study of Gita, Upanishad, etc. That is your priority now. So now the Shastra says, Vedanta Shravanam has got twofold benefits. One is called Mukhya Phalam, primary benefit, and the second one is called Avantara Phalam, the secondary benefit, or a byproduct you can call. So when in certain industries, they manufacture something, not only they get the primary benefit, they also get a lot of secondary benefits, like byproducts. Take the case of a coconut tree. The main benefit, of course, is coconut. But how many other benefits are there? In fact, you can write a very big essay on the benefits of coconut tree. How many ways we can use a coconut tree, different parts of the coconut tree. And that's why a coconut tree is called a Purna Phalam. And not only coconut, take the case of the mango tree. Primary benefit you expect is mango fruit. But there are so many byproducts. You get the shade of a cool tree. Then mango leaves are considered auspicious and can be used for puja. You can string them on a thread and hang it in front of our door. That's also considered auspicious. In fact, it is said that the air which passes through the mango leaves gets purified. So that's why they hang it in the front door, so that the air which comes into the front door, so purified air, they get inside the house. All these things are there. Side benefits are called Avantara Phalam. In the same way, Vedanta Shravanam has also got a Mukhya Phalam and an Amukhya Phalam or Avantara Phalam. What is the Mukhya Phalam? That we all know the answer. What is the Mukhya Phalam or Vedanta Shravanam? If a person has got all the qualification, the Mukhya Phalam will come, which is Jnanam, Atma Jnanam. And suppose a person does not have sufficient qualification, and therefore if a person does not understand the teaching, even then the Shastra says there is a secondary phalam, and that is called punyam. Because Krishna himself tells in the 18th chapter, Shrunuyadapi yo naraha, who just allows the Gita to pass through his ears. He may not know Sanskrit. He might not even do himself Gita Parayana. The very vibrations of the Gita slokas, if it has fallen on his ears, so api mukta hai shubhan lokan prapnuyat punya karmanam, says Krishna, 18th chapter, we will see that. So Vedanta Shravanam produces punyam. So if you have done some special puja or Sahasranama, Parayana, etc., what punya it would have given, the same amount of punya a Gita listener is going to get as a byproduct. So that means what? Either you will get jnanam and punyam, or you are going to get minimum punyam. Jnanam, if it comes, moksham. Jnanam, if it does not come, punyam. Punyam, if you get, Swarga is going to come. Therefore, what is your position now? You have nothing to lose. Either moksha or Swarga. So all you need, so that you need not worry at all. And those of you, well, I'm sure that nobody is there like that in our class. If somebody has got a doubt, should I come to the next class? Because if I don't get, I've got the same doubt as Arjuna. If I don't get moksha, what will happen to me? You need not worry. You can come to the next class and next class. By just listening and being in the class itself, you are earning a lot of punyam. Because I am not saying, the Shastra is saying. Because you just imagine. Vishnu Sahasranama Parayanam will give us punyam, we say. What is the logic? Vishnu Sahasranamam appears in Mahabharata. It is written by Veda Vyasa Maharishi. Right? And Vishnu Sahasranamam is a prayer offered to Bhagawad. So we say we will get punyam. What is the difference? Bhagavad Gita also appears in Mahabharata. It has also been written by Veda Vyasa. And it is actually, here Veda Vyasa is actually reproducing Bhagavan's words himself. So by listening to Bhagavad Gita, now you don't even need to chant it. By just listening, the Bhagavan's words are going in your ears and through the ears into your antakarana, which will give you more punyam. So that is the logic, that when we listen to Gita, we will get punyam. And the same thing I was mentioning in the other class also. Mundaka Upanishad. Why do we read the Bhashyam? Because Bhashyam is written by Adi Shankara. Adi Shankara has written so many other slokas. When we chant those slokas, those are words of Adi Shankara, we feel that we are going to get punyam. Will that same logic not apply to the Bhashyam of Adi Shankara? When you are chanting the Bhashyam of Adi Shankara, the words of Adi Shankara, will you not get that punyam? Therefore, there is nothing to worry. So, all of you, just for logging into Zoom and managing to sit in the class for 1 hour, of course, with your ears, listen, hearing this, the best result is moksha, and the minimum what you are going to get is swarga. So, Krishna is saying, in this situation, why are you worrying, Arjuna? And that is what he says. He Partha, tasya vinasha na vidyate. For a Jnanamargi, a person who has come to Shastra Shravanam, there is no downfall at all. Iha va amutrava. Either in this Janma or after death. Before Maranam or after Maranam. There is no question of spiritual fall. And what is the reason? Because Kalyanakrit Kaschit. Such a person happens to be a Mangala Karta. He is doing a noble action. Even listening to Gita is a Mangala Karma, which Krishna called in the 4th chapter as Jnana Yajna, if you remember. And that's why Swami Chinmayananda ji, when he started teaching Gita in the public, he called it Jnana Yajna. So what other yagas and yajnas can give you the punyam? Gita, listening to Gita, chanting Gita will give you the same punyam. In fact, in the case of Swami Chinmayananda, when people heard Gita, Jnana Yajna and all, they thought that there is going to be some Homakunda, priest, Vadyar, etc. and there will be fire and oblations, etc. Well, that is what their understanding of yajna is. Actually, even now, there are people having this doubt. Why this title was given by Swami Chinmayananda? Jnana Yajna. Actually, they don't know. This title was not given by Swami Chinmayananda. Bhagavan Krishna himself gave this title as Jnana Yajna. So even though no Homakunda is involved, no oblations are involved, Jnana Yajna will give as much punyam as any other Vaidika karma. And that punyam is the minimum result that one will get. Actually, it is also said, the Veda mantras. That's why we encourage children and we tell people wherever Veda chanting is going on. You may not know the Vedas, you may not know the chanting. Go and sit there and just listen to it. That itself will give you a lot of punya. And there is another reason why the people chant Vedas loudly. You know what? Because there are so many other jivas around us, right from an ant to a worm to birds and animals, etc., even plants and trees. They have done lot of papa karmas, adharmic activities, and because of which in this janma they have got this birth. And in that birth, they cannot earn any punyam. So, a hidden purpose of chanting Veda mantras loudly is that when we chant it loudly, these animals, these plants, these insects, these birds, etc., can listen to that and earn more punyam. Punyam will get credited to their account so that they get a better janma. On their own action, they cannot get any punyam because they don't have kartritva. They are driven by instincts, programmed. So they can't do any punya karma. But just listening to the Veda mantras, to Bhagavad Gita, even Bhagavad Gita, when we chant, if it reaches the ears of these, these animals and plants and insects, etc., punyam gets credited to their account, the jiva account. And that is why chanting, listening to chanting and all is considered very, very important to earn this punya currency, because in our life, the currency that we earn, dollar or rupee and all, you cannot carry it with you. That's not going to help you after you die. The only currency which will help you after you die, not only in this birth, in future births also, is the punya currency only. That is why whenever you get an opportunity, you must earn as much punya as possible. Because if you don't get moksha, at least this big bank balance, bank balance, punya balance will be there to help you through, to see you through the life. So punyam is the minimum result that one will get. That's why he says that kalyanakrit kaschit durgatim na gacchati. Tasya vinashah na vidyate. Therefore, there is nothing to worry. Such a person will never have a downfall. So now the only question remains is whether that person will go to Swarga or have a better life because of the punya, or attain moksha. That alone is the question. There is no question of downfall. Hey Tata. Now this is a very wonderful expression. Hey Tata, my son. How can, some people ask, how can Krishna call Arjuna my son? Because the age difference between Krishna And Arjuna was not much, 4 years or so something. They were friends actually. But then this is an expression which shows how close Arjuna is to Krishna, how much Krishna values the friendship, values the Arjuna's welfare. It's very difficult to this Hey Tata is very difficult to translate in English. We cannot translate it as my son. That will be a wrong translation. It's just like, somewhat we call somebody, oh my dear. So this Tata is like, in Tamil they say Appane, right? Or Beta in Hindi. They normally, we will call everybody whom we wish well for as Beta and all that. So we must not take this Hey Tata literally and start worrying about why Krishna is calling Arjuna as his son. This is an expression of endearment. Krishna continues. Prapya punyakritam lokan ushitva shashwati samah shuchinam srimatam gehe yoga brashto bhijayate. So the Anvaya is Prapya lokan punyakritam ushitva शाश्वती समाह योग भ्रष्ट अभिजायते गेहे शुचीनाम श्रीमताम. प्राप्य लोकान, having attained the worlds, punyakritam, of righteous people, ushitva, having lived there, shashwatihi, for many years, samaha yoga brashtaha, one who has fallen from yoga, abhijayate, is reborn, gehe, in the family, shuchinam srimatam, of the cultured and prosperous. So having attained the worlds of the righteous people and having lived there for many years, one who has fallen from yoga is reborn in the family of the cultured and prosperous. So again, Krishna is further explaining what happens to such a seeker after death. Such a seeker means what? Before death, he continues the spiritual sadhana. That is not discussed here. Krishna is discussing Marana Anantara Gati of the person. Person means who yoga brashta. That is, he could not succeed in spirituality. He made a noble, sincere, serious attempt, but he could not succeed because of lot of obstacles which prevented him from putting in the necessary efforts. So what will happen to that person after death? And as I said before, during the process of Shravanam, he has acquired Punyam. Vedanta Shravanam, Gita Shravanam, Gita Parayanam if he has done, all these have given him lot of Punyam as a byproduct. And as a result of this Punyam, he will go to heaven. And therefore he says, Punya Kritam Lokan Prapya. Here the word Punyakrit refers to those people who have done great yagas, Vajpaya Homa, Soma Yaga, etc. The lokas that they go, the very same lokas this person also will go, even though he has not done any of those rituals, but he has earned the punyam which will make him eligible to go to those lokas. So the very study of the Gita is equivalent to all the yagas and yajnas and namajapam, etc. Madhusudana Saraswati Swamiji quotes a verse and he says that 1 minute of Vedanta Shravanam is equal to hundreds of yagas. So hundreds of yagas is 1 minute and you are listening to 60 minutes every week. You can calculate the punyam you are earning. It is equal to the of giving dhanam of the entire earth. Not just 1 acre or 2 acres and all. Entire earth is gifted. What punyam you will get by gifting the entire earth, all those punyam will come by Vedanta Shravana. The idea itself is equal to a sacred karma only. Therefore, punya kritam means Vaidika karma kritam lokam. Swargagati samalokan prapya. So not only he will attain those lokas, Shashwati samaha ushitva. He will remain there, reside there for many long years. Shashwati samaha. Here the word samaha does not mean equal. Here sama means samvatsaram, varshani. Shashwati means countless number of years. Ushitva, having resided. Not as a mere resident, but having experienced all those enjoyments of Swargaloka, having enjoyed all those pleasures. Shashwati sama ushitva. Then his primary desire was what? His desire was not enjoying Swargaloka. It is only Avantara Phalam he got. He studied Gita, Upanishad, etc. for moksha only. And therefore, Bhagavan will give him or her an appropriate framework for continuing the spiritual sadhana. And therefore, Krishna says, Yoga Brashtaha. The same Yoga Brashta we talked about 2-3 slokas before was a failure in his Purva Janma. That Yoga Brashtaha Abhijayate. He is reborn. Where is he reborn? He said there are two possibilities. First possibility is Shuchinam Srimatam Gehe. He will be born in the family of a prosperous and cultured parents. So Shuchi here means culture. Dharma is there in that house. Dharmic people, they avoid all adharma. Values are there. Religion is there. It's a very religious and cultured family given to noble karmas. And not only born in a cultured family, Shrimatam Gehe, that family will also be a prosperous family. And Krishna says so, he actually emphasizes this because only in such a family there is scope for further pursuit of spirituality. Suppose it is a noble family, dharmic family, but there is poverty. Then naturally one will have to struggle for basic needs of life. How can that person even think of Vedanta? For a person with a hungry stomach, you cannot go and talk about sadhana, chatushtaya, sampati, moksha, etc. Isn't it? There is a good chance that you will be beaten up. Therefore, Bhagavan will give such a family where basic needs are provided. So prosperity does not necessarily mean that he will go around in some Benz car, BMW and all that. Means all basic needs. He will not have any worry or any anxiety about his food, his shelter. As they say, roti, kapada, makan all provided for. But suppose there is prosperity but no culture. Money without culture is dangerous because all the money will be used for some other type of spirituality. isn't it? Another type of spirit, clubs, high society, etc., kitty parties, gambling, betting, horse races. The money will go there. So late night sleep and late morning wake up. No puja, no karma, no religion, nothing. That in fact is worse. It is better to be born poor and have some, dharmic life rather than being born in a very rich family with no culture at all. And therefore, this yoga brashta will be born in a cultured and prosperous family because both are very important. Both are important and ideal for further spiritual sadhana. Once he is fully provided, he can do more and more of nishkama karma. He can do more of service because dharma is there in the mind. Money is there. When dharma and artha come together, it's a wonderful combination. All the money will be used for noble activities, preserving temples, annadanam, vidyadhanam. So many noble activities one can one can involve oneself in. So in the Purva Janma, he failed because of only incomplete qualification. But now all that qualifications can be completed in the next Janma. And therefore, Shuchinam Srimatam Gehe Yoga Brashto Bhijayate. So this is the possibility number one. Then he says there is a second possibility which is still rarer. What is that? Krishna says, Athava Yogi Nameva Athava Yogi Nameva Ude Bhavati Srimatam Etadhi Durlabhataram Loke Janmayadi Drisham. So Anvaya is Athava Bhavati Kule Dhimatam Yoginam Eva Idrisham Janma Yat Etat Durlabhataram Hi Loke. Athava, otherwise, Bhavati, he is born. Kule, in the family. Dhimatam Yoginam Eva, of wise sages themselves. Idrisham Janma, such a birth. Yat Etat, as this. Durlabhataram, he is very rare indeed. Loke, in the world. So the second possibility is otherwise, he is born in the family of wise sages themselves, and such a birth is a very rare indeed in the world. So Atava, the second possibility for a yoga brashta. After Swargaloga Anubhava, where will he or she will be born? We have already seen. Shuchinam Srimatam Gehe. That is one possibility. Now here he says Yoginam Kule Bhavati. Yogi here means Brahmagyanina. Those who are already Gyanis. So in the family of Gyanis he will be born. Who may be or may not be prosperous in the literal sense. Because Gyanis will lead a simple life. And therefore in his commentary Shankaracharya says, they are born in a poor family, but the family of Gyanis. And when there is Gyanam, poverty will not be considered a curse. On the contrary, it will be considered as an ideal thing for following tapas. Because you don't have enough wealth to distract you. You do not have to specially, practice sannyasa. Because for renouncing, you have to have something. Here, this Jnani doesn't have anything. Therefore, I need not work for sannyasa. Bhagavan himself has made me as a born sannyasi. Therefore, he will take Bhagavan's decided sannyasa. And what will be his attitude? If food is not there, he will say, oh, this is good. Bhagavan wants me to do upavasa practice. It will be considered a blessing. If he doesn't have possessions, no worry. I don't need to worry about yoga and Shema. So therefore, in such families of jnanis, such a person will be born. Dhimatam yoginam. So the Dhimatam yoginam should be corrected in this nota. So Dhimatam yoginam means wise sages. And the biggest advantage this person will have is that he did not go in search of a guru. Father or mother is a guru. How convenient it is. You see this case in Taittiriya Upanishad. Bhrigur Varunihi Varuna Pitaram Upasasara Adihi Bhagavo Brahmeti. The Bhrigu of Taittiriya Upanishad. It's a dialogue between the father and son. How nice it would be if it happens now. Now, father and son are only busy fighting for property and other things. Father is a jnani and son learns how wonderful it will be. There will be only dialogue on Vedanta instead of all these fightings, quarrels, etc. So, Dhimatam yoginam kule bhavati. But Krishna says, Arjuna, this is not so easy. Etat hi durlabhataram loke janma. Such a birth as a child of a jnani is durlabhataram, very rare. Why it is rare? Because jnanis themselves are rare. Krishna will say in the 7th chapter, Manushyanam sahasreshu kaschid yatati siddhaye yatatam api siddhanam kaschin mam veti tatvatah. Jnanis themselves are rare, and to be born to a jnani, that jnani must be what type of jnani? He has to be grihastha jnani. Because sannyasi jnanis are more common. Being a grihastha jnani is very rare. And in that family, birth also is rare. Therefore, etat idrisham janma loke tad durlabhataram. So, earlier, Shuchinam Srimatam Gehe is durlabha, difficult for normal people. And this is durlabhataram. Previous one itself is difficult. This one will be more difficult. To be born in a prosperous, cultured family is a great blessing. There is money. You can do a lot of good karma. You have a value of service also, but rare birth. So these are the two possibilities. Okay, we just have got 2 minutes. Okay. So I got a conducive janma for continuing my spiritual sadhana. Then the next important question is, should I start the spiritual sadhana from scratch? The meter is set to 0, like auto rickshaw, taxi and all. New journey. Again, it will start running. Or will it be a continuity of what I have already done? I have actually come to 6th chapter, 38th verse. I have learned. So will I start from the 39th verse of the 6th chapter? Or maybe I finish the 6th chapter. So will I start from the 7th chapter? Or will I have to start right from the beginning? Dhritarashtra uvacha dharma kshetre kurukshetre samaveta yuyutsavah. Will I have to start right from that? Or whatever I have learned in this janma, whatever I acquired in this janma will be carried forward to the next janma. Another very, very relevant and important question, isn't it? In the context of Arjuna's doubt. And Krishna is going to say that it is brought forward. That means you are born with the phalam, the spiritual result, which you have acquired in this janma. Which means that the person is born with advanced spirituality. That person is born as a spiritually evolved person. Such people are called spiritual geniuses. I hope geniuses is the right English. Or genii, I don't know. So from this we come to know a very important thing. The spiritual genius of this janma is a yoga brashta of the previous janma. Every spiritual genius of this janma is the yoga brashta of previous janma. I will leave you with a thought. Think of Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi. Previous janma, he was a yoga brashta. When he got this janma, he could continue that spiritual sadhana and attain moksha. That is why when we see people are born young, right from a very young age, they have got inclination towards spirituality. You can understand that this is nothing to do with this janma. It is a continuation from their previous janma. More we will see in the next class. Okay. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Dhanyavada everyone.
Thank you very much, Guruji. Thank you.
very much.
Dhanyawad ji. Thank you, Guruji.
Hmm.
Thank you.
Thank you, Guruji. Hari Om. Thank you.
Hari Om. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Guruji. Namaskaram.
Namaskaram. Namaskaram. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Hari Om. Thank you.
Namaskaram.
Namaskaram. Thank you. No hands up.
Thank you very much, Guruji.
Hari Om. Thank you, Lataji.
Thank you very much. A very heartening session. Very, very
Krishna
encouraging.
does not always disappoint. He gives us some tough lessons, but also he is very positive.
Yes. No, I was
There is
getting
no need for us to be pessimistic in this pursuit, I tell you.
yes.
And once you are used to accustomed to positivity like this, every field of your life you will be positive only. No negativity will enter your mind.
I was panicking a little bit about the Mundakopanishad classes. I was first thing I was not able to focus very well because of the timing, and then
Yeah,
I was listening. I was listening to it again and again,
Yeah.
and still somehow I was not getting the thread of the.
It is initial
the
stages.
talk.
Initial stages, you see, it will happen. So
Yeah.
once we now finish the Ubodgata Bhashyam, when we come to the mantras and all that, slowly it will settle in. Because for all of you, Bhashyam study is a new animal, right? And the approach to Bhashyam study is different than approach to Mula study. There is a lot of application of your mind. You have to think through so many things which is being told in the Bhashyam. Some of the things are very useful things. Some of the things we have never heard of also. Like I will be talking about the Jnana Karma Samuchaya. It is something we have no imagination that there is a possibility of that and all that. But then we are learning from whom? From Adi Shankara himself. So they have some little, patience. And after some time, it will all settle down. And then you will enjoy the Bhashyam ride rather. That I can assure you that.
Yes, Guruji. That's as you said.
Everybody goes through this, this phase. Bhashyam study is a very, very difficult, very advanced study rather. Actually, getting to study the Bhashyam itself is a very, very, because of so much punyam only you are getting it. It is a very rare thing rather. There may be hundreds of people listening to Vedanta classes and things like that, and for them to get into Bhashyam is the ultimate. So you will wait, you will enjoy.
Yeah. And as you rightly said, Bhagavan Krishna is always very positive. So
Yeah.
that's
all.
that's something.
Have that Shraddha, that nothing to worry. Okay.
Thank you, Guruji. Hari Om.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Any other question, comment? Otherwise, no, I don't see any hands going up. So I think I can close the session. So thank you very much all. Hari
Thank
Om.
you. Thank
Hari
you.
Om, Guruji.
See you
Thank you,
next.
Guruji. Hari Om.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.